Hey Kate, how you doing today? Doing well. We're excited about our guest, comedian, actress, and writer who has appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and Netflix comedy lineup, Kate Willett. Kate, thank you for joining us today.
So much for having me
Where can people watch your new comedy special, Loopholes?
on YouTube. Watch it on Apple TV. It's going to be out on Prime later today. And I think that it's also on Vimeo. Yeah, it's on all platforms. I did it with Comedy Dynamics. They produce a lot of comedy specials, so you can check it out any of those places.
Nice. So there are several places our listeners can check that out. That's awesome. Critics have called you the perfect blend of smart and filthy. How does that make you feel?
I guess it's a lot better for the people dumb and filthy. That would sound like a whole other level of mean. No, I'm just kidding. Like I think that my comedy, like a lot of times I do um approach like, sex and relationships as a topic a lot. But I try to really bring myself and my vulnerability and my intellect to it. So feels like a pretty good description.
Nice. You dive deep into the dirty, into such a wide variety of topics. Is there a topic that's off limits?
Oh man, like I wouldn't say anything that was gonna hurt my family feelings. I don't think. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. Like, I mean, I'll definitely make fun of my family, but like I probably wouldn't. Like, I would never make fun of my family in like in a really mean way or anything like that. Not that I would even want to. Yeah.
Nice. Exactly. It's always good to be respectful of family. What was
Yeah.
what was it like transitioning, going from the Late Show with Stephen Colbert to your morning show?
Well, I stand up on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, so it's just like when you do stand up on a show as a stand up comedian on a late show, like you really just you go in, you perform in front of the audience, you get to tell the jokes. Like there's a whole process where you have to get your jokes approved on it in advance because they don't want someone coming in there and accidentally like saying stuff that is going to get them in trouble with the FCC or something like that. So it was definitely a process, but it was actually just an event. Like it was just a really cool show that I did.
Oh, nice. So like a special occasion kind of thing.
Yeah, on those shows. And that was the dream for me to get to do stand up on a late night show. And, I had a great time. It was a really fun experience to get to do that.
Being that you were a writer with Beavis and Butthead, I want to get your opinion on the recent Beavis and Butthead sketch on Saturday Night Live. What did you think?
I know real life too, and it reminded me of him. I knew this guy's name was Dwayne, and he looked so much like Beavis in elementary school, or not elementary school, I guess in like junior high. Everyone was always calling him Beavis, and he like hated it so much because he was like such a this guy Dwayne, he was like such a thoughtful, like kind man, and like people would always like just be like, oh yeah, this guy probably thinks about just like boners all the time. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm like really serious, and I don't know. It reminded me of that dude.
Nice. How did you get started in comedy?
I started a comedy in San Francisco in the 2010s. I think my first ever show was at a laundromat where they also had comedy shows, which was a fun place to do comedy. It was called the Brainwash Cafe. It has since closed down. Um, but I don't really perform in a lot of laundromats anymore. Mostly, comedy clubs, and I do my laundry separately at this point.
Awesome. Do you have any touring plans?
Yeah, album release, like all over West. I'm gonna be, coming up soon. I'm going to be in Atlanta again. I'm going to be going to Arizona, New Mexico, Denver. So all my dates, I post them on my Instagram. If you go to Kate.Willett with two T's on Instagram, I post my upcoming tour dates there, and I'll be like all over the country this spring and fall.
Awesome. So the loopholes, what's the main theme of it?
So I would say this section was a lot about relationships and sexuality. I wrote this right after the pandemic, and I had been, inside for the whole pandemic, and I was thinking about like, how similar that was to my mom's life as a stay-at-home mom. But instead of like making dinner for two kids, I was like making dinner for like a podcaster. Like it was kind of like going back in time to this like world that I never really thought I was gonna live in. And so, it ended up just kind of being thinking a lot about like what it means to be a woman today and all of the kind of contradictions and rules for that, and then also the people those rules.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, how things have changed and evolved and over the years. That makes a lot of sense. I see what you're saying. So, Kate, before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about you?
Um, Willett, Willett on Instagram, and I have a new podcast coming out soon at the beginning of May. And check out the special Loopholes on Apple TV, YouTube, or Amazon Prime.
Awesome. Well, actually, before you go, what's the name of the podcast? We're interested in hearing more about that.
Yeah, so the podcast is going to be called Shooting Dinner. It'll be out at the beginning of May, and I'm going to invite friends, celebrities, journalists on, everybody to talk about the subjects that they both make things very awkward with. So, hopefully it'll get into conversations that are both very funny and, also stuff that people don't normally get a platform to talk about.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was Kate Willett. It was a pleasure having her on the show today. She's a comedian, she's an actress and a writer, and she's got that new comedy special, Loopholes, that you can watch on YouTube and other places. So feel free to check that out.